Lautaro Martinez affirmed that he has no intention of leaving Inter Milan, dealing a heavy blow to Chelsea. The 26-year-old striker was briefly linked with a move to Stamford Bridge this summer following the arrival of Mauricio Pochettino. Martinez, whose contract with San Siro is about to expire in 2026, has appeared 7 times for the Nerazzurri in Serie A this season, directly contributing to 11 goals. The Argentina international's impressive performances have attracted interest from some of Europe's top clubs, but his heart seems to remain at Inter. "My agent is working on my new contract at Inter," Martinez said, according to Fabrizio Romano. "I'm very happy. I'm giving my all for the club, and my family also loves it here. I don't see any reason to change and join another club." Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis affirmed that Victor Osimhen's future is not up for debate. The 24-year-old striker was heavily linked with a move away from the Italian giants recently after the club posted a controversial video on TikTok last month. Following Napoli's 2-3 defeat to Real Madrid in the Champions League on Tuesday night, De Laurentiis told Spanish publication El Chiringuito, as quoted by Goal, "Victor is a player who makes a team on his own, that's indisputable. There are no problems with the extension, everyone in Naples is happy." Chelsea took the decision earlier this summer, following another injury, to let N'Golo Kanté leave the club on a free. After 7 years at Stamford Bridge, a Premier League title, an FA Cup triumph, and a masterful silent assassination in the Champions League last 16 in 2021, the 32-year-old is a free agent. He never really said goodbye, playing his final game in the 3-1 win over Bournemouth before it became clear that injury would rule him out for the rest of the season. As soon as Kanté entered English football, he left it, quite discreetly and without protest. Years after making an offer worth more than £80 million for Kanté with both Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid interested, Chelsea have let the third player from their Champions League winning squad go. For less than £25 million, the club lost Kanté, Antonio Rudiger, Edouard Mendy, Andreas Christensen, and Cesar Azpilicueta. In this group, there are 3 players over 30 years old, all of whose contracts have ended and have completed their obligations. The failure to retain players of this age has become a mainstay of the Roman Abramovich era, with contracts longer than a year rarely awarded after the 29th birthday. However, Kanté shows that Chelsea could how difficult it is to not have the best player available. The international break is here once again, and it's safe to say Chelsea go into this one in a better mood than the one that took place in September. The Blues have recorded 3 wins on the bounce against Brighton, Fulham, and Burnley, and while stiffer tests await later in October, their Premier League points tally now looks healthier than following defeat to Nottingham Forest. Mauricio Pochettino had been adamant that his side had not got what they deserved from many of the early fixtures of the season, but having picked up 6 points from their last 2 games, they now at least before facing Arsenal upon their return. The Blues have in many ways been limited in the work they have been able to do in the opening months of this term, despite Pochettino's arrival in time for pre-season. Chelsea still added a number of players late in the window, with Moises Caicedo, George Petrovic, and Cole Palmer all arriving after the season started. Of course, injuries have played their part too as the squad continues to acquaint itself with each other both personally and professionally. It has been a common sight to see the Blues' injured stars in the shape of Christopher Nkunku, Trevoh Chalobah, Reece James, and others present at Stamford Bridge when they have been unavailable. Pochettino has often pointed to the youth of his side, but more crucially their inexperience together. In September, he made sure to illustrate this. Christopher Nkunku's Chelsea debut is on hold for a significant period of time after the France international underwent knee surgery on the injury he suffered in preseason. Nkunku sustained the issue on his meniscus in a game against Borussia Dortmund at Chicago's Soldier Field last week, a substandard pitch and a challenge from Mats Hummels combining to do serious damage to the £52 million summer signing, who was already emerging as a crucial figure in the plans of new head coach Mauricio Pochettino. Nkunku has sustained a knee injury which will rule the forward out for an extended period, said Chelsea. The 25-year-old has undergone an operation and will now begin a rehabilitation program with the club's medical department. Though the Blues have not set a public timescale for Nkunku's eventual return, it has been suggested he could miss around 16 weeks, a timescale that would rule him out until the winter months. The 25-year-old, secured amid interest from a host of top clubs, had excelled in preseason for his new club, scoring 3 goals in 5 games and showing versatility to contribute across the front line. Nkunku's injury could force Chelsea into the transfer market. They had already been linked with a move for a forward and now go into the season with Nicholas Jackson and Armando Broja as their only senior options at centre forward. Marc Cucurella issued his verdict on Chelsea's start to the new Premier League season. Mauricio Pochettino will have mixed feelings about the upcoming fortnight's international break after this second win in the Premier League and third in all competitions. On the one hand, positivity around the training ground will put a spring in steps for him and his backroom staff. But on the other hand, the breakup of his squad just when connections and bonds seemed to be strengthening among the group could not come at a worse time. Victory against Burnley, who have now lost all 5 of their league fixtures at home, was no silver bullet to eliminate the inconsistency that saw them win just one of their first 6. Yet the togetherness, effort, and cohesion was clear to see as Chelsea came from behind to floor Vincent Kompany's Clarets on a warm afternoon in Lancashire. In other games, when we conceded a goal, the team lost a bit of confidence, but today we follow our plan, we kept fighting and we started to play better, said fullback Marc Cucurella. Adapting to the new manager takes time and we have a lot of new players and young players as well. You need to find our teammates, because if you find your teammate you follow him and you are friends. I think this is the key. Today, all the players who started and the ones who came off the bench ran and put everything in the pitch. If you follow them and become friends, and when that happens you fight for them. Chelsea are reportedly interested in signing RB Leipzig forward Lois Openda. The Blues strengthened their central striker options with the addition of Senegal international Nicholas Jackson over the summer. They also recruited Christopher Nkunku from Leipzig, but injury has prevented the Frenchman from making his Chelsea debut. With Mauricio Pochettino still keen to add at least one more centre forward to his squad, Chelsea have identified another Leipzig player as a potential target. According to Fishages, the West London club are showing an interest in Openda following his impressive start to his Leipzig career. After racking up 21 goals and 42 appearances for French side Lens, Openda completed a transfer to Marco Rose's side over the summer. Since joining Die Roten Bullen, Openda has gone on to score 4 goals in 7 Bundesliga appearances, including a strike in Leipzig's 2-2 draw with Bayern Munich last month. The 23-year-old also found the net in Wednesday's 3-1 defeat to European champions Manchester City in the Champions League. While Openda may have at least 2 admirers in the Premier League, it would take a significant fee to prize him away from Germany. The forward is under contract until the summer of 2028, leaving Leipzig in a strong position when it comes to potential transfer negotiations. As a result, there is a belief that it would take a fee in the region of €90 million, £78 million, to convince Leipzig to consider parting ways with Openda.